Alright, here we go. So, got my Floowandereeze, and it looks like I'm going second, and I'm playing against, surprise, surprise, Swordsoul. So, this this pretty much will show you guys why Swordsoul pretty much can't deal with Floowandereeze. Floowandereeze can pretty much just like shit all over Swordsoul. Even if you go first with Swordsoul, Floowandereeze can still kind of shit on you because it can play through so many disruptions. It can bait so much, and there's so much shit you have to do to try to stop the setup for Floowandereeze. Um, there's so much like shit you have to do to try to stop it in advance. And since I have Ash in my hand, I'm just gonna like basically bait out his first negate because I know he wants to get this Fusion Destiny. Everybody always wants to get that DPE out. It's like it's so important to him that they make sure they negate. And if he had saved that negate and just let me Ash his DPE, then he I don't have a starter, so he could have just actually used the Baron DeFleur to negate my search for the starter, but he didn't know that, of course. And then I draw a brick, um, so now I have to search for a starter. And since I have to search for a starter through Pot of Prosperity, if he had the Baron DeFleur negate, he could have actually stopped this, but he didn't. So he wanted to get DPE out, and DPE is going to cause him to lose the game. Fucking idiot. So I go into Robina, and then I'm just going to explore wins to just go ahead and bait out the DPE. And like I said, a lot of the shit that you can do with Floowandereeze is all about just forcing people to use negates when they don't really want to, forcing them to use shit when they don't want to because they have to try to stop it because the combos are like way too fucking powerful. They don't know what you have in your hand, so they have to negate that shit like and destroy that shit right away. So I go ahead and get his DP in the graveyard, and then I search for Stree so I can banish that shit. But he's of course going to activate Seashell to negate that, which is completely fine by me. Now I've baited out all of his negates. Only thing I gotta worry about is if this is blackout, but doesn't really matter too much. He don't know if I still got Floowandereeze. And then I just go into Ryza, send his back row back, and then also send these cards back. So now he's already fucked because he should have used his back row, but now he can't use it. And I'm pretty much going to send all of his shit and then just crash into this card. And I know this Swordsoul, you need multiple cards unless this is Taya. He's pretty much fucked. Unless he draws something and then he just happens to have two Tenyis. And let's see what he got. So Incredible Glacius. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So it looks like he has the two cards that he needs to make a level 10 Synchro. Let's see what he does with those. And I can almost guarantee this is probably the first time this fucker's ever actually did this combo. This is more than likely probably the first time he's ever actually gotten these two particular cards on the field at the same time and used them for combo. But let's start banishing shit, shall we? Let's get rid of Celestial. We're gonna just go ahead and start that ban list on Celestial early, sending that shit to the banish pile. And then he goes into Chang Ying, but Chang Ying cannot activate because we got Impin on the field. And any monsters that's face up, special summoned, that are face up in attack position cannot activate. So he goes ahead and he crashes into my negate and places some more back row, you fucking shitty piece of shit. So now I'm going to use the maps effect to summon Eaglin. Eaglin is going to search. Let's use Eaglin's ability to search for another Impin. And then we can tribute off two more monsters after we Go ahead and send unexplored winds to the banish pile. And then we can pop Toucan back into my hand. That way we can use, let's flip his shit first, face down first. But then we can use Toucan to pop unexplored winds back into my hand and just go ahead and start looping shit on him again. So Toucan. And then we place unexplored winds back onto the field. Call by the grave his dasher, so now he can't use that shit. And then we're just going to attack. Since it's in defense, it's going to actually lower the attack, and it keeps my imping on the field, which is why I flipped his shit face down. So then that way, it wouldn't actually destroy my impings. And he pretty much draws a brick and then he quits. So big brain plays. If I had put it in attack position, then my impins would have gotten destroyed. But since I flipped his shit face down, they stayed on the field. So GG's biatch. Get your bitch ass whooped.